Today, let's explore the 7 principles for making marriage work. The author, Dr. John Gottman, is one of America's most influential psychotherapists, ranking alongside Carl Rogers and Carl Jung. He's widely recognized as the marriage guru by the media and has helped countless families in crisis. Since the 1970s, Gottman has dedicated 40 years to marriage research. In his Love Lab, he studied 3,000 American families and 700 newlywed couples, producing what's considered the most comprehensive study of relationships in history. Remarkably, Gottman can predict with scientific accuracy whether a newlywed couple will divorce within a year by observing them for just 5 minutes. Gottman's research findings are crystallized in the 7 principles for making marriage work, which has remained on Amazon's bestseller list for 15 years and has been published in 22 countries. Malcolm Gladwell, the best-selling author, describes Gottman as a man of modest height, with owl-like penetrating eyes and graying hair. His eyes light up and become even more intense when discussing topics that excite him. Interestingly, he often wears a distinctive red cap with unique decorations. Regarding marriage, Gottman points out that while we read instruction manuals before using products, we rarely study marriage before entering into it, a significant oversight. Unlike other psychology books that focus on marriage problems, this book examines what makes marriages succeed rather than what causes them to fail. Gottman offers unique insights about marriage. Common mental health issues, like neurasthenia, anxiety, phobias, or OCD, aren't strongly linked to relationship failure. The key to a happy marriage isn't having a perfectly normal personality, but finding someone compatible with you. If you can accept your partner's uniqueness, treating them with care, love, and respect, and even help them work through their mental health challenges, your marriage can thrive. Men are sensitive about power dynamics and dislike being controlled or ordered around. Fortunately, his wife never tries to dictate his actions. After 10 years of marriage, they maintain a harmonious relationship. If his wife had been an authoritarian woman who liked to command him and tell him what to do, the outcome would have been disastrous. Therefore, common psychological issues aren't strongly linked to failed relationships. The key to a happy marriage isn't having a perfectly normal personality, but finding someone compatible with you. Secondly, some people believe affairs are the root cause of divorce, but that's not accurate. The author explains that affairs usually aren't about sex, but rather about seeking understanding, respect, and care, elements that should be present in marriage. An affair is a symptom of a dying marriage, not its cause. The marriage's end was determined long before either spouse's infidelity. People tend to blame the unfaithful partner and despise their emotional transfer, rarely considering that the other spouse might have contributed to the situation. When someone doesn't receive understanding, respect, and care from their spouse, they might seek it elsewhere. Thus, affairs are symptoms of a failing marriage, not the cause. Third, biologically speaking, men aren't naturally designed for marriage. While you might think men are inherently unsuited for monogamy, the author argues that extramarital affairs depend more on opportunity than gender. With more women in the workforce, the rate of female infidelity has increased dramatically. The author's main points about marriage are: mental disorders don't necessarily destroy marriages. Finding a compatible partner matters more than having a normal personality. Affairs indicate a failing marriage rather than cause it. People seek elsewhere what they can't get from their spouse, and men aren't naturally more prone to affairs. It's about opportunity rather than gender. However, the author cautions against using these reasons to simply explain away marital problems. Through years of research, they've identified warning signs that can predict a marriage's future, such as harsh communication, criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling, and deeply negative views of the spouse and marriage. The author offers 3 solutions for marital problems. The first is activating your admiration system. Praise is crucial for maintaining emotional relationships. The admiration system means both partners retain basic positive feelings, viewing their spouse as worthy of respect, affection, and even admiration. If a couple's admiration system still functions, their marriage can be saved. The book includes an example of a workaholic husband who's disconnected from family matters. A wife, dedicating herself full-time to childcare and housework, eventually couldn't bear her husband's indifference and neglect. The husband, trying to escape family troubles, sought solace in work. Over time, Both felt their marriage was falling apart and considered divorce. Fortunately, they decided to try marriage counseling before taking that final step. How did the marriage counselor help? They asked the couple to recall their early romance. The husband shared how he had worked hard to win over his wife and her family's approval, something his wife had never heard before. Learning about his dedicated efforts to win her heart touched her deeply, and their relationship began to heal. Why did this simple solution work? The sweet memories of their early life together reminded the husband of his wife's lovable nature and showed the wife how much her husband had valued her. The long-lost feeling of tenderness returned. Soon after, the husband reorganized his work schedule to spend more time with his wife and children, and they found happiness again. The author explains that the best way to test a couple's appreciation system is to observe how they view their past. By reminiscing and discussing memories, long-buried positive emotions resurface. Recalling happy times together can be an effective way to resolve marital conflicts. The author introduces a 7-week appreciation course. Each week, from Monday to Friday, you write down one thought and one task. For example, Monday, thought, I truly love her. Task, list one of her endearing qualities. Tuesday, thought, I can easily recall the beautiful moments in our marriage. Task, choose and reflect on one special memory. Wednesday, thought, I can easily remember romantic moments in our marriage. Task, select and reminisce about such a moment. Thursday, thought, I'm attracted to her. Task, note which physical features attract you. Friday, thought, she has special qualities that make me proud. Task, write down one quality that makes you proud of your partner. Continue this pattern for 7 weeks, with both partners writing separately. After 7 weeks, you'll notice a significant change in your relationship. This exercise aims to develop a habit of viewing your partner positively when you feel distant. When you're angry, stressed, or feeling emotionally disconnected, you tend to focus on their flaws, leading to continued distress and feelings of isolation. When people are depressed, their thinking becomes clouded, and they tend to view everything through an extremely negative lens. The feeling of desperation intensifies. This exercise helps you focus on your partner's strengths, counteracting your tendency to dwell on their shortcomings. This is the first method the author teaches us, activating your appreciation system. Let's summarize. When a couple is long troubled by negative emotions, try to view your relationship through a positive lens. You can do exercises, including the method we just introduced, the 7-week appreciation practice, rekindling beautiful memories, activating your respect and admiration system, and focusing on your partner's positive qualities. This helps bring you closer together. Learning to activate the appreciation system and eliminate negative emotions is just the first step in solving marital issues. Next, couples can finally sit down and have meaningful conversations. Good communication requires skill, and maintaining positive and effective dialogue is the author's second method. Don't underestimate this step. Proper communication can transform your marriage dramatically. The second method, maintaining positive and effective communication. Some might think romance only requires candlelit dinners or small surprises, but the author emphasizes that real-life romance stems from the connection between spouses. Maintaining connection through good communication creates more stability and passion in marriage than going on vacations. How to communicate? The author suggests a conversation style called stress-reducing conversations. For example, gathering with family after work to discuss how the day went can help everyone handle pressures from outside the marriage. This is crucial for long-term marital health and should be a priority for couples. Choose a time when both partners want to talk, but remember one basic rule. You can discuss anything except the marriage itself. Why? Because discussing marriage doesn't reduce stress. Instead, it can create tension. Here's how to communicate effectively, following the author's detailed guidance. 1. Take turns speaking. Both spouses are storytellers and active listeners. 2. Don't offer unsolicited advice. When helping your partner reduce stress, understanding must come before suggestions. Usually, you only need to be a listener. 3. Listen attentively. Focus on your partner without distractions or interruptions. 4. Express understanding appropriately, showing empathy. For example, I understand why you feel that way. 5. Consider things from your partner's perspective. Support them even if you disagree with their viewpoint. 6. Show a united front. If your partner feels they're facing difficulties alone, when feeling isolated or defensive, one can become tense. It's important to show you're on the same team and facing challenges together. Let me illustrate this with two examples of stress relief conversations. First, here's what not to do. Wife, we had a terrible meeting today. My team leader always doubts my abilities. I hate him. Husband, I think you're overreacting. I've met your team leader, and he seems quite reasonable. Wife, that woman just has it out for me. Husband, come on, you're just imagining things. You really need to fix this bad habit. Wife, forget it. I don't know why I even bothered telling you. See how this conversation made the wife more upset? The husband only added fuel to the fire. While he thought he was helping her face reality, he actually shut down the conversation. Here's the right way. Wife, we had a terrible meeting today. My team leader always doubts my abilities. I hate him. Husband, I had no idea they were like that. How did you handle it? Wife, that woman just has it out for me. Husband, she's way out of line. I feel like giving her a piece of my mind. Wife, never mind. I'll just ignore her. Notice how the wife would likely be amused by her husband's supportive response, helping lift her mood after a stressful day. The troubling incident would gradually fade away. Such scenarios are common in daily life. When wives share their troubles, many husbands play judge, thinking they're being fair by criticizing, warning, and directing. This only makes wives feel more hurt and angry, vowing never to share such matters again. Smart husbands understand this. Wives don't want advice. They want understanding and sympathy for their experiences. By showing empathy and consideration, letting her release stress and worries, she'll respond with more gratitude and love. Therefore, positive and effective communication between spouses is vital for marriage, forming the foundation of a harmonious relationship. Here are the 6 steps for effective stress relief conversations. 1. Take turns speaking. 2. Don't offer unsolicited advice. 3. Listen attentively. 4. Show understanding appropriately. 5. Consider the other's perspective. 6. Present a united front. Conflicts are inevitable in marriage. What should we do when conflicts arise? Here's the third method we'll discuss: skillfully resolving marital conflicts. The author emphasizes that spouses should respect each other and accept each other's opinions as a solid foundation for resolving differences. We should treat our partner with the same respect we show to guests. If a guest forgets their umbrella, we would say, "Hey, you forgot your umbrella." We would never say, "What's wrong with you? You're always forgetting things. Can't you use your head for once?" Clearly, these two different attitudes will evoke very different responses. Through research, the author developed a new model for resolving conflicts between spouses, which essentially involves raising issues gently and resolving them through compromise. Let's discuss why we should raise issues gently. The way a discussion begins often determines how it will end. If it starts with a negative attitude, it's unlikely to end well. To ensure discussions begin gently, the author suggests several approaches. 1. Express complaints without blame. 2. Use I statements instead of you statements. For example, say, "I'm exhausted from doing all the housework," rather than, "You're so lazy, you never help with housework." 3. Describe facts without making evaluations or judgments. Say, "I feel neglected," instead of "You never care about me." 4. Don't bottle up issues. Express your concerns clearly. Say, "The baby needs a diaper change. Could you handle it?" Instead of "Can't you see I'm busy? Why can't you take care of the baby?" Sometimes, couples need to maintain politeness. Now, let's discuss what it means to resolve issues through compromise. Whether you like it or not, the only way to resolve marital problems is through compromise. To achieve this, you can't ignore your spouse's opinions and requests, nor should you blindly agree with everything they say. However, you can sincerely consider accepting their perspective, remind yourself to see things from their point of view, and look for the reasonable aspects of their position. For example, a young couple frequently argues about driving speed. The wife says driving fast is unsafe, while the husband complains that they'll be late if he doesn't drive faster because she takes too long to get ready. They become very upset with each other. Both have valid points. What should they do? Continuing to argue will never lead to a solution and only damages their relationship. When both parties can put themselves in each other's shoes, problems dissolve. The husband realizes safety comes first, and speeding is never an option. The wife understands she should prepare earlier to avoid running late. C. When you consider things from the other's perspective, how can there be an argument? The main approach is to raise issues gently and resolve them through compromise. Beyond this principle, we should master several techniques. First is knowing when to hit the brakes. In the endless cycle of blame between spouses, knowing how to stop can prevent disaster. During heated arguments, you can use certain phrases to reduce tension. When discussions become too negative, these words can keep things from spiraling out of control. For example, slow down. I don't quite understand. This is important to me. Please hear me out. Wait a moment. I need to calm down. I never saw it that way. Maybe you're right. Let me think about that. Wise people never let situations deteriorate. Second, accept imperfections. Some people have unreasonably high expectations of their spouse, sometimes to the point of being demanding. They think if their partner were a bit taller, wealthier, smarter, neater, or more attractive, all problems would vanish. Once this mindset takes hold, conflicts become hard to resolve. You can't compromise with your spouse until you accept their flaws and shortcomings. Otherwise, you'll constantly try to change them. Experts say conflict resolution isn't about changing someone, but finding common ground through negotiation and discovering methods that work for both parties. Learn to see your partner's quirks as interesting aspects of their personality. For example, a husband always leaves one bite of food, while his wife complains about waste while eating his leftovers. Decades pass, he still leaves food, she still nags, but they laugh about it without any resentment. The three methods for handling marital issues are raising concerns gently and resolving them through compromise, knowing when to de-escalate during conflicts, and accepting your partner's imperfections. Of course, marital conflicts don't just come from the couple themselves, but also from in-law relationships and challenges of raising children. The author offers advice on these too, suggesting that in mother-in-law conflicts, the husband must side with his wife rather than remain neutral, being too nice all the time. A couple needs to establish their own family rituals, values, and lifestyle. Only when parents respect their choices will marital conflicts decrease. Here's an example. When the wife heard her in-laws were coming for the weekend, she made reservations at her favorite restaurant for a family dinner. However, the mother-in-law insisted on eating at home because she had brought her son's favorite braised veal. Initially, this put the husband in a difficult position. He knew his wife was anxious about his mother's visits. To his mother, the wife was sweet but seemingly incompetent. To his wife, the mother-in-law was a great cook but always stole the spotlight. The husband ultimately thanked his mother for cooking but firmly supported his wife's plans. Although his mother was unhappy, his wife felt deeply appreciated, and their marriage grew stronger. What about childcare? The author suggests men should be more involved. A woman's personality inevitably changes after having a child, as she focuses all her energy on the baby. This can lead to complaints from the husband and decreased marital satisfaction. To prevent this, wives should compromise. Encourage their husbands to participate in childcare, letting fathers become playmates to their children, while also being mindful of their husband's needs and making time for the marriage. Regarding marriage, the author believes mental health issues don't necessarily destroy marriages. The key to a happy marriage isn't having a perfect personality, but finding someone compatible. Affairs are a symptom, not a cause, of a dying marriage. When someone doesn't receive understanding, respect, and care from their spouse, they might seek it elsewhere. Men aren't naturally more prone to affairs than women. It's more about opportunity than gender. The author offers 3 methods for solving marital problems. First, activate your appreciation system. When couples are trapped in negative emotions, try viewing your relationship positively. Practice recalling good memories. Activate your appreciation system, and focus on your partner's strengths to grow closer. Try the 7-week appreciation method mentioned in the book. Second, maintain positive and effective communication. To keep marriage stable and romantic, couples should maintain good communication habits and strengthen their friendship. Stress relief conversations can be regular practice. Following 6 steps. Take turns speaking. Don't offer unsolicited advice. Listen attentively. Show understanding. Consider the other's perspective and present a united front. Third, handle marital conflicts skillfully. Raise issues gently. Resolve them through compromise. Know when to stop, manage emotions, and accept your partner's flaws. For common family conflicts, the author advises, regarding in-law relationships, husbands must side with their wives. For childcare, both partners should be involved, with men taking an active role.